Any other examples of the emphatic one? This one, Muakkadah. Naam. Tahiyatul Masjid is Muakkad. Actually, I disagree there. Why do I disagree? According to the most preponderant opinion, why do I disagree? Because it becomes elevated to wajib. When you enter the masjid, you are not allowed to sit down until you pray 2 rak'at or the prayer which is a prescribed prayer. In other words, you are not allowed to sit in a masjid until you have prayed. It's called the Masjid at-Tahiyyah, or the greeting prayer for the masjid. Because the hadith says, do not sit down. See how you differentiate between the two?
Yeah, but I have a question. For example, who doesn't do that, will he be punished?
يستحق العذاب. He is eligible for punishment. According to the correct opinion, Sheikh Al-Albani has a very, very strong treatise on this.
Yeah, but the other one, you just mentioned the Arabi.
That is if he is not entering the masjid. There's another obligation here. Did he tell the Arabi to eat with his right hand? Do we say that if he eats with his right hand, it's an obligation, correct?
Ask about the praise.
فاهم عليك. لكن نفس الوقت, understand something. That is an exemption here, where it's an obligation. Is Friday Jum'ah mentioned? Friday Jum'ah. The khutbah.
Yeah, but the Jum'ah is referred to the khutbah.
Ya Habibi, it's still the same, it's still prayer. It's still exempted from the 5 prescribed prayers. So it's a similar scenario. The hadith says, do not sit until you pray. So this is now a condition of going to the masjid and sitting down. There's a condition there. If you want to go to the masjid, you are not allowed to sit, as the hadith says, unless, this hadith of Rasulullah, until you condition that sitting with prayer. It's clear. And this is the saying of the majority of scholars.
But you make it like the same, like farad and...
It's wajib.
Yeah.
It's wajib. If we say a sunnah muakkadah, it's not, you can sit down.
So
I'll give you an example. Would you sit down if you go to the masjid without prayer? No. Would you sit down?
No, I usually pray.
But no, not usually.
Yeah.
Would you, I'm asking the question, would you sit down?
Don't tell that you mean exactly.
No. I'm going to the masjid.
Okay.
I'm you.
Okay.
I get into the masjid.
Yes.
Barakallah. Do I just sit down? Would I just sit down? I know the hadith, where the hadith says, don't sit down. So what would you do? Would you sit down?
No, I will pray.
Why would you pray?
Because there's commanded to pray.
You've just answered the question.
But now I don't make it in the same level with the farad. You make it the same level with the farad, like the dhuhr or...
الفرد والواجب مختلفان. أليس كذلك? There's 2 differences. But I'm not saying that the sunnah of the masjid is to greet the masjid with the 2 rak'at is the same as the prescribed prayer. I did not say that.
So what's the difference between making dhuhr example or making 2 rak'at before?
The difference is there's a command, a condition of sitting in the masjid now.
Are they on the same level?
No, of course they are not on the same level. How can they be on the same level? A person who abandons the farad prayer can be a kafir. But a person who abandons Tahiyatul Masjid is not a kafir. He's a sinner only because here is a wajib, mana fard. It's a wajib.
Wajib, what's meaning?
An obligation.
The meaning of Jumhur or Ahnaf?
لا, الجمهور العلماء. جمهور العلماء, this is the majority.
You said the wajib and fard in the same meaning.
No. I think it's the Arabic is, you're misunderstanding the English. See, what happens is when your English is not up to scratch, you might be misunderstood. That's what the problem is. I think that's what it is. نعم يا أختي. Now that's a different issue altogether. In Jama' when you're traveling, that becomes a sunnah. Is it allowed to be abandoned? Yes, it is. You can pray the normal prayers, but it is better to pray Jama' wa Qasr when you're traveling. It falls under Sunnah. But what the brother is confused about is, what we're trying to say here is that the Prophet ﷺ conditioned that if you want to sit in the masjid, you have to do what? Pray 2 rak'ah. There's a condition here. Because he did say very clearly in Muslim, Hadith Abu Hurairah, لا تجلسوا. لا تجلسوا. Do not sit until you pray 2 rak'at. So anyone that goes to the masjid and sits down, in reality is disobeying Abul Qasim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and is eligible for punishment.